This is about a new doctrine that has come out. I want to see day 1, 5, 4. I want to see the numbers right there. Move, yeah, right. You can leave it right there. Everybody can see that, right? I want everybody online. Put the link online. I want everybody to see and follow along with us. We went over this in Miami, I think it was. I forgot. Someplace we went over it. And I want somebody, where's Obadiah? Oh, Obadiah. No, not you. Oh, Tobias. You know how to count, right? Stand up. All right, you see the calendar right there, right? Okay. Actually, go to that side where the women are, because you're going to block the camera. Go to that side. All right, everybody see that calendar, right? So now, I'm going to tell you what to do in a moment. The doctrine is that the Sabbath is based upon the new moon. And when I say new moon, I'm referring to the old understanding of a black moon. So that when the black moon comes in, every 7 days is a Sabbath. That's what's trying to get pushed out there in the world. So we sat back and we thought about it. We examined it in the scriptures. They got it from, let's go, Captain Isaac, give me 1 Samuel chapter 20, verse 24. Now I'm going to show y'all where the doctrine's coming from. We got to expose them. We got to.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 20 and verse 24. So David hid himself in the field, and when the new moon was come, the king sat him down to eat meat.
So one moron said that David could only hide at night when the moon was black. He said, see, that's the proof. The moon is black. You can only hide at night. So what about all these criminals we can't find during the day? Where are they? Go ahead.
Verse 25. And the king sat upon his seat, as at other times, even upon a seat by the wall. And Jonathan arose, and Abner sat by Saul's side, and David's place was empty. Nevertheless, Saul spake not anything that day, for he thought, something hath befallen him. He is not clean. Surely he is not clean. And it came to pass on the morrow, which was the 2nd day of the month, that David's place was empty. And Saul said unto Jonathan his son, wherefore cometh not the son of Jesse to meat, neither yesterday nor today?
So notice it says the 2nd day of the month. So they said, see, the days are based upon the new moon. I said, okay, well, let's examine that according to the scripture to see if that's accurate. So, are the days of the month the same as the days of the week? That is the question. Is every 7th day from the new moon a Sabbath? So now, Tobias, you see day 1 where it's all black, right? So they said that's the new moon. So now let's count 1, 2, 3, like the bouncing ball, 4, 5, 6, 7. So according to the doctrine, that would be what, brothers? The Sabbath. So now let's count another 7, starting from 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the 14th. That would be what, according to them? The Sabbath. Okay. So, according to the scriptures, I want you to write that down because I don't want you to forget this. Write that down. Give me Leviticus 23, verse 5 and 6. So now remember, the 7th, according to them, is the Sabbath, and the 14th, according to them, would be a Sabbath. So we're going to examine Passover. Read that.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 5. In the 14th day of the first month at even is the Lord's Passover. And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread unto the Lord.
So now, was that it?
7 days you must eat unleavened bread.
Okay, so the 14th day at evening is what, brothers? The Passover. Now the 14th technically at evening would be what day numerically? The 15th. You with me, Jamaica? You with the glasses staring. Yeah, you. I don't want to lose anybody. Okay. Oh, that's Levi. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. So, according to God, the 14th day at evening would be what day? Which is what holiday? We all there. Who's confused so far? Maybe a new brother might not get it. I don't want y'all to lie now. It's okay if you don't understand how the holidays are charted. So now, okay, raise your hand high. So when you knew. Yeah, keep your hand up. Sorry, we got to see. When you two, okay, good. Read it again, Captain Isaac. Read it again.
Leviticus 23, verse 5. In the 14th day of the first month at even is the Lord's Passover. And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread.
So now watch this. Give me Luke 22:1. I'm just going to prove Passover and Feast of Unleavened Bread is the same day. That's all. Is it Luke 22:1 or Luke 24:1? 22:1.
Luke chapter 22, verse 1.
Come on.
Now the feast of unleavened bread drew nigh, which is called the Passover.
So the Feast of Unleavened Bread is the Passover. You new brothers that raised your hand, do you understand that? You understand that? The Feast of Unleavened Bread and Passover is the same thing. Go back to Leviticus 23 now.
Leviticus 23, verse 5. In the 14th day of the first month at even is the Lord's Passover.
So now, let me ask them, new brothers, you two new brothers that raised your hand. Do you know when, according to, actually, I'm not even going to ask you. Give me Genesis, because they might be thinking the day starts at 6 a.m. You know what I want, Captain Isaac? Genesis chapter 1, verse 5, I think. Hit verse 5. I want y'all to follow. I want y'all to see this.
Genesis chapter 1, verse 5. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day.
The evening and the morning were the first day. So a day with God begins when? You, new brother, when? The evening and the morning were the first day. So when does a day begin with God? In the evening, correct. In the evening. Isaac, jump down and go to the next day when it says the same thing. I'm not looking, so I'm trusting you to find it. Get to the point.
Verse 13. And the evening and the morning were the third day.
Now go to the next day, where it says the
Verse
same
19.
thing.
And the evening and the morning were the fourth day.
So I want y'all to see, according to God, a day begins in the evening time, not 6 a.m. morning, in the evening. So now, everybody understand that so far? All right, let's go back to Leviticus 23. I knew there was some new people here. I just got to work with you. I'm going to work with you. Come on, Isaac.
Leviticus 23, verse 5. In the 14th day of the first month at even is the Lord's Passover. Verse 6. And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread unto the Lord.
This is the same what, brothers? It's the same day, the same holiday, right? Okay. So now, according to the ran up out of here, Ephraim, I don't know what's wrong with Northern Kingdom. Northern Kingdom said, mira. I can't take it. The Sabbath is based on a new moon. So we said, okay, look at it. Tobias, count it again. Now, he's got the black moon. This is for them that teach the black moon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 would be, according to them, that doctrine. The seventh day would be what? Okay, let's start the next week, starting with 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 14th would be the Sabbath. So now, watch this. According to what we just read in Leviticus 23, at evening, which is the 15th, what holiday would it be? Okay, very good. We all on the same page. Now watch this. Here it come now. Don't get mad. Go to Luke 23, verse 52. Remember, the 15th is the Passover. Okay. The Sabbath would be the 14th, right? The Sabbath, according to them, would have been, the 14th would have been the Sabbath, right, Josiah? 15th, Passover. Now, Luke 23, read 52 down to 56, please. This is Christ crucified now. On what day was Christ crucified, brothers? On Passover. Watch this. Go ahead.
The book of Luke, chapter 23 and verse 52. This man went unto Pilate and begged the body of Jesus.
This was what day, brothers? Passover. Go ahead.
And he took it down and wrapped it in linen and laid it in a sepulchre that was hewn in stone, wherein never man before was laid. And that day was the preparation, and the Sabbath drew on.
And the Sabbath drew on, meaning it was not in yet, it was coming. Read.
And the woman also, which came with him from Galilee, followed after, and beheld the sepulchre, and how his body was laid. And they returned, and prepared spices and ointments, and rested the Sabbath day according to the commandment.
So now let's go back to that calendar, Tobias. Wait a minute. There's a problem with the doctrine. Go from 1, Tobias. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Would have been a Sabbath according to them. Then started with 8, second week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. According to them, the 14th would have been a Sabbath. Christ was crucified, Passover, which is what day, brothers? The 14th day evening, which is what day? The 15th. The Bible said the Sabbath drew on. It was coming. But wait a minute. So that proves that that doctrine is what, brothers? False. It's a lie. It's a lie. So now we could put that, we could ball that up and just throw it into the garbage. Maybe the Lord will give them some more scriptures to show. Okay. But until that day, we're going to leave that alone. So now, give me Sirach 43. I'm just touching on this again. I got a bit, I'm sorry. They said, y'all so arrogant. We're bold, according to the scripture. Sirach 43. Here it is. Listen to this. A Negro said, they said, how do you know? No. They said, we're going to prove the new moon is a black moon and not a light moon. He said on the video, give me Sirach 43, verse 8.
Sirach 43 and verse 8. The month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully in her changing, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven.
He said, see, increasing wonderfully means it starts off black and goes to light. Hello, what's wrong with that? Where do you start in this chapter about the moon? Anybody know? Let's start above it. What verse you at?
Verse 6. He made the moon also to serve in her season, for a declaration of times, and a sign of the world. From the moon is the sign of feast.
From the moon is the sign of feast. That's how your feast days are charted, on the moon. Go ahead.
A light.
A what?
A light.
That
decreaseth in her perfection.
So now God's giving you the, what's the word? The cycle. A light that decreases. What verse is that? 7 or 8?
Verse 7.
So why did they start with verse 8? You see how wicked Negroes are? Negroes are phenomenal. Don't trust them. Watch out for them. Read that part again.
Bishop, that's the reason why I had to turn the lights off.
Right, exactly.
Do that video so they can get it.
Go ahead.
From the moon is the sign of feast, a light that decreaseth in her perfection. The month is called after her name.
So what does the word month mean, brothers? Moon. Go ahead.
Increasing wonderfully.
Now it says increasing. First it's a light that decreases. Then it says increasing wonderfully in her changing. So it starts off at light, decreases till it gets dark, then it increases back to light again. Does everybody understand that? Read on.
Being an instrument of the armies above.
Here it come.
Shining in the firmament of heaven.
Well, did you see the operative word there? Shining. Nobody sees that word, shining. So now, the word moon, read that part again in verse 8.
The month is called after her name.
Watch this. Go to Exodus chapter 12, verse 2. Watch this. Read that.
Exodus chapter 12, verse 2. This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you.
Captain Isaac, do me a favor. Take out the word month and put, what does the word month mean, brothers? Put the word moon there.
This moon shall be unto you the beginning of moons. It shall be the first moon of the year to you.
Do you see that? So if it was black, Moses would have been like, oh, Lord, I don't understand what are you talking about? What do you mean?
Right.
This moon.
Right.
What moon?
Exactly.
That moon right there. Where? Lord, I'm confused.
He said it is right. When he said it shall be the beginning, what is the it? He got to point to it.
Yeah. Everybody understand that? Watch this. Baruch 660. I love this one. We just read in Sirach that the feasts are based after, I ain't quoting, y'all know I can't quote. The feasts are based after the moon. Now, here we go in Baruch 6 and 60.
Baruch chapter 6, verse 60. For sun, moon and stars being bright and sent to do their offices are obedient.
So when do they carry out their offices? When they're what? Being what, brothers? Bright. Why can't reading is fundamental?
Oh, yes.
Can a Negro or Latino just read? They want to go into the Hebrew. Brother, if you can't understand English, you're not going to understand Hebrew. We're going to stick to the Hebrew, my brother. You don't know Hebrew.
They don't know Hebrew either.
Bishop, I speak Hebrew. You never see me speak Hebrew. I speak Hebrew fluent.
Give me so it tells you they carry out their offices when they are being bright. They don't do their offices when they're dark, brothers and sisters. They're being bright is when they do their office. Genesis 1. So Genesis 1, on the fourth day of creation, God creates a sun, which is new. He creates the stars, which is new. Then he creates a moon, which is new. Read that for us.
Genesis chapter 1 and verse 14. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for us signs, and for seasons, and for days and years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And God made two great lights, the greater light.
You keep seeing this word light over and over and over. But a Negro Latino said, no, black. Said, hey, in the beginning everything was black, so the moon is black. And then he said, the moon is a woman's menstrual cycle. Read that again.
Verse 16. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also, and God sent them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day.
So that was the fourth day of creation. So when God made a new sun, he made a new stars, he made new moon. And they were what, brothers? Light. They was bright in the heavens. So it really astounds me. Now we really don't try. We try our best because we know at one time we didn't see it. But when understanding comes out, don't try to shoot us and call us, all kind of heretics and witches and warlocks and stuff. Don't do that. No. Just examine.
Exactly.
Just be quiet. If you don't know, and you know what? None of the camps ever celebrated the new moon. None of them.
You know that's true.
Not from the old school. None of them celebrated. So when I saw the attack, I said, this is amazing.
Because we did not keep it in the old school.
We was in old school. We never celebrated the new moon.
Did that.
We never blew up. You see how we blow up trumpets? We never did that on the new moon. Never, ever, ever. So it's amazing. I'm like, now they know they're so wise.
And you know what's funny? A lot of them cats were back there, and they know what we tell is the truth.
Exactly.
You cannot find one tape, one video. I'm putting this out there. You cannot find one tape or one video where we celebrated the new moon back there.
Not one.
But Bishop, the same one who complaining, you tell them that break the dark moon. They could not even break it down. But now we bring in the understanding out. Now they know other something now that there was genius behind the new moon.
Exactly.
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, please make sure you subscribe to this and join IUIC channel to get your latest updates from all our YouTube channels. Shalom.